so appropriate because I have a photo of family because I care about family as I talk about how I'm dumping my family. Hi guys. So I broke up with my extended family and I want to talk about it. Asian people, sometimes we break up and it's okay, but we're very heavy on like family obligation. And I think I needed a place to rant about cultural norms in Asian culture. So this is here, is now. This is the place. I mean, American cultural norms are stupid too, but so is Asian. I digress. Let's start with number one. Respecting your elders. Respect should be a two-way street, but they really emphasize younger people have to respect older people, but older people do not have to respect younger people. If anything, they can walk all over young people and it's just like totally okay to do that. But respect is a two-way fucking street. If I'm respectful to you, I expect you to be respectful to me. In general, everyone deserves respect. It's not just for the old, okay? It's for everyone. It's not fair that you just decide, oh, I'm like 2 months older than you, so you have to respect me and I can be a bitch to you. Like, none of that is okay. But then they get so mad at you when you don't respect them. And I think they also care so much about respect. They always talk about it. It's like, why don't you learn to have some self-respect? I don't know like why they think young people don't respect them. They just emphasize it so much. But still, you should learn to appreciate yourself. You should learn to respect yourself, and then you won't bitch so much about respect. Sorry, my cat. Oh, Billy. And then also, if you're bitching about respect all the time, oh, you don't respect me, you don't respect me. You don't look very respectful. Like, no offense, but I won't really respect someone that's screaming like a petulant 2-year-old. Get a hold of yourself. Again, that's not gonna begate more respect, I'm sorry. Cultural norm number 2. I'm your parent, thus I will lecture you all day and you can't talk back, because rule number 1, you have to fucking respect me. And respect means that you should never talk back to an elderly. I'm just gonna rant and lecture you all fucking day. Oh my God, I fucking hate this. This is by far one of my traumas. You know how like you can have like big trauma because like say someone died or you were abandoned, that's big trauma. But like little trauma daily is still big trauma. And one of them was that my mom never listened to me, and none of my elders, my aunts and uncles, some of them, not all of them, but some of them just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and basically shit on you all day long because they're your elders and they can do that and like tell you why your life sucks, but then you would never be able to say why their life sucks, or the fact that, hey, it's not okay for you to like call me out and talk about all these painful things that, yeah, I'm not perfect. And you tell me and tell me and tell me like it's okay to do, usually at a party where everyone's watching you guys. Like, why don't you do it one-on-one, huh? If you're upset that your child isn't listening to you because you talk and talk and talk, maybe you should change your approach and like try to teach in a better way. Maybe it's not like we're bad listeners. Like, you always say like, oh, like I try to teach you stuff, but you never listen, da da da. Well, okay, why are you bitching in the first place? Obviously, you're in control of this too, and you can teach better, you know? Instead of bitching about how I'm not listening, why don't you teach in the way that I can learn? Everyone has a lot to learn from everyone. In like Vietnamese culture, only elders have a lot to teach you. Yeah, I feel like there's some young people that are wiser than elders, and some elders that are way stupider than young people. There has to be. There's billions of people in the world. You're doing yourself a disservice to like only listen to your elders. You're only listening to half of the population. And as you get older, there's less and less elders for you to listen to. I don't know. It's just like, you're not gonna learn anything from the new generation. That's doing yourself a disservice. And I think that's really stupid to like just shut off a lot of people that are just because they're younger than you. It's like, everyone has their own wisdom. Everyone has their own perspective. Everyone can learn from anyone, and that's so beautiful. And like, you're shutting yourself off. It's so stupid. No one wants you to criticize their flaws and the way you do it. Vietnamese people just do it in front of everyone, in front of the whole party, in front of the whole family, and they talk about why you don't have a job, why you're so fat, why you're wearing that, why you look so slutty, and then just tearing down your self-esteem, and then you take it because you're supposed to be respectful, so you can't even talk back. So then a part of you internalizes that and makes you feel like, oh, I'm not worthy. And how messed up is that to do to your children because you're feeling anxious? You only talk and lecture because you feel pain from the life of the people you love, and that's okay. I know that you feel pain because you love them. I get that. But like, you don't know how to soothe your own anxiety about it. You just try to attack them because you're feeling hurt and trying to fix their problem. But that's not very helpful because you're not being compassionate to what they're going through. Like, obviously they're in a bad spot. They don't really like being in a bad spot. Don't like make them feel bad for being in a bad spot. Like, no one wants to be fat. No one wants to not have a job. No one wants to be lost. Don't have a boyfriend. Stop making them feel bad for it and stop trying to fix their problems. Also, why do you think you're so almighty and you know everything and you know what's best for someone else's life? You do not know what's best for my life. You don't live my life. You don't know how I feel. You don't know how I think. You don't know every facet of the situation. Only I know that. I am the best person to take my own course. No one else can know all that I know about my own life. So I have all the information, so I have to think about it myself and find my own way. Even me as a mom could not know nearly enough about my daughter's life to give her good advice. I have to trust that she can learn to figure it out herself. Also, if you were gonna give advice, it should be selective advice. Like, you need to listen more about my life to give me good advice. You know what I'm saying? You have to like ask me 1,000 questions before you be like, I just heard a lot of information, now I processed it, I can give it an advice. But like, these people who give advice over and over and over just don't know anything about my life and have never asked me a single question about my life and assume that they can tell me what to do with my life. It's fucking annoying. Third issue with Vietnamese culture, family obligation. I hate family obligation. I feel like they could be fucked up people. They could be fucked up. They could say mean things. They could get away with murder because they're family, and that's not okay. And then if you dare to leave, you're like the pariah. Like, everyone shits on you for being a bad daughter. Everyone shits on you for being a bad niece because they were abusing you, and yet you're the bad person for trying to disengage. It's fucked up. This family obligation thing is twisted, and I don't think it works. And you should hang out with people, and you should learn to be appropriate and like not hurt people, and you should learn to mend things and repair relationships, and you should learn to change your behavior, because if you have this family obligation, you feel comfortable enough not to have to do any of that shit. And I don't think that's okay. I think that's the beautiful thing about the potential to get divorced. I think the potential to get divorced helps you go to marriage counseling, and marriage counseling helps you go to any kind of therapy, individual marriage counseling, both therapies, teaching you to be a better person so that you could be a better human being and not hurt fucking everyone. And I think with family obligation, there's no divorcing. There's no potential for divorce. And so we all need that potential to disengage and be scared, because you need to learn to work with people. You need to learn to live with people. You want to be likable so that people want to hang out with you. You wouldn't need family obligation so that people want to hang out with you. You should learn to be likable so that people want to hang out with you, instead of having to like hang out with your aunts and uncles that you fucking hate, that like only take away your energy, take away your self-esteem, take away your self-worth. Like, that's not something I want to be around. And I don't care. I'm gonna be sold on being a bad daughter, because being a bad daughter means that I'm being good to myself. I know that you'll be called a bad daughter, and I know that can be very hurtful and offensive, and you're trying your best to be a good daughter, but I think in the end, who cares about being a good daughter? Who cares about being a good niece? Who cares about being a good auntie? Your first priority is to care about protecting yourself and like loving yourself, because if they just bring you down and down and down, then that's not okay. You might be a bad daughter, but you're being good to yourself, and I think in the end, it's not that it's all that matters, and I don't think it's fair to say it's selfish. I think it's fair to say my energy is being drained, and I want to be around people who bring energy to me. It doesn't matter if you're my dad or your mom. My daughter is different, you know? Like, I think you should be there for your daughter or your kid, because yeah, they're draining your energy and it's hard work and stuff, but you brought them into the world and you want them to parent. It's different. Like, I don't need to parent my father. I don't need to parent my aunt. Like, that's not my obligation. I think real family obligation is like, I decided to go to therapy and change my behavior because it's hurtful to my husband. I want to make sure that I have a loving relationship with my husband so that my husband and I can be a team for my daughter. I will always be there for my daughter. Those are like family obligations that like, that is family obligation. That should be a normal family obligational thing, but you do it because it's meaningful. You do it because you became a mom. You do it because you love your family. I don't know about all this other crap about taking abuse from your uncles and aunts because they're your family. I don't believe in any of that crap. I think all that is toxic. Number 4, stupid cultural thing. When you're sad, just be happy. That is always what they say. Happy, happy, happy. They like think that helps. It's not a magical thing to just sweep your sadness or any of your negative emotions under the rug and pretend you're good. None of that helps you solve problems. It's not healthy, and it's fake, and it's not authentic. Like, you could be super resentful for years and still hang out with the people that cause you this resentment. You're not just being truthful to how you feel and how hurtful things can be. And also, you don't get a chance to process and let it out and like let out all your sadness. Like, if you're in pain, you should cry. Pretending you're happy and just be happy is not a good advice. Please stop telling people that. Number 5, Asian people talk at you. Elders talk at you. They don't talk to you. If you know what I mean, you definitely know what I mean. It's crazy because the people who talk and talk and talk have shitty lives. They're usually people who have the shittiest life. It's like, I don't really want to take advice from you guys. No offense, you know, like the people who have good lives, that have like good relationships, that are warm and healthy and like happy elders, they never give advice, or they give it very sparingly. If anything, I want their advice, you know? I want the good role models. I want to be happy. I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want any of their advice. Stop giving them advice. If anything, I am intentionally doing the opposite of what you're telling me to do, because I think that might lead me to where I want to go. It's kind of silly. I feel like my brother did this once. He was like telling me that he doesn't eat fruit anymore because this diabetic person told him that he became diabetic because of the fruit he ate. And I was like, why are you fucking taking advice from a diabetic person? Why are you taking health advice from an unhealthy person? Take health advice from a healthy person. Take business advice from a business person. Don't take marriage advice from an adulteress. Don't take parental advice from people who children are estranged from them. And you shouldn't take everyone's advice, because not everyone's good at everything. People like to give advice all the time for things that they're not equipped for, and you should analyze if you want to be going down their route. I don't know why they keep giving advice, but they won't shut up about it, and it's fucking annoying. All that toxicity to say, should you stick through it through thick and thin? And I think personally, there's so many things you fucking have to do to be a good human being. Like, you have to floss, you have to brush your teeth every day, you have to shower sometimes, you have to like pay your bills, you have to pay your taxes, you have to exercise, you have to eat healthy. There's already so many fucking things you have to do to be a good human being, like already on your plate. On top of that, you have to visit your elders that shit on you, that don't respect you, but expect you to respect them, to let them talk the whole time and then expect you to listen to them, but they'll never let you talk or give them advice. I don't know, is it worth it? Like, in the end, you go to these things, you go to these events because you want to be a good niece, you want to be a good family member, you want to be. And then in the end, you think about what they say to you, and you think about them over and over and over about how you don't have a job, or how you're fat, or how like you look slutty in that, like you gotta wear more clothes, or like I don't know what else they damage you with. Basically, all the things that are wrong with you that you already know about, and like you hear it in their voice over and over after you see them, and then that just definitely wears and tears at your self-esteem. And is that worth it to be a good niece, to be a good daughter? Like, I think right now I've decided that for my mental health, to take care of myself, to take care of my self-esteem, I need space from them. And then when I do come back, I hope to be brave enough to tell them that what you're saying to me is very hurtful. It's not helping me. You're only making me feel worse about my situation. You're actually not gonna make me want to do anything. If anything, it makes me depressed. I don't want to fix the problems that you're addressing, because it's just making me lose energy, lose self-esteem, lose confidence. Like, I don't want to do anything anymore because I'm scared and hurt and sad because of what you're saying. You're not helping me at all. If you continue to be like this, I don't want to be a part of your life. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to spend time with you. Like, that's okay if you want to continue trying to behave like this, but honestly, I don't need it in my life. And I love you, and I know that you mean well, but it's not how I'm taking it. And I don't care that you mean well, because it's still very hurtful to say. I want to be brave enough to say that someday, but right now I'm not. It's not that I'm also not brave. I have a kid, an autistic kid that I have to take care of, and I don't have the energy to change them, and I don't want to change them. I just want to disengage, and that's fine. You should do what's right for you, for how much energy you have. If you want to help fix them, and you want to change the relationship so the relationship thrives, all power to you. But it's also okay to take a step back and be like, I don't want to be a part of this right now. Brene Brown talks about the difference between fitting in and belonging, and for a long time I wanted to fit in with my family. I realized that I wanted to fit in so badly that I was okay to swallow and let them erode at my self-esteem, let them say things that were really hurtful. I want to belong now, and that means that I might not belong with everyone, and that's okay. I feel like even though it's scary and like a new chapter and a new relationship with these people, and maybe more intense relationship with these people that I do choose to be with, it's better. I don't want to belong in a village full of everyone. I want to belong in a close-knit that give me good energy, that like want to change, that I'm willing to change for, that I'm willing to listen to too. It's a two-way street, right? I'm willing to change and be someone that like accommodates for my friends and my family too. But it has to be a two-way street, bro. It just has to be, or else it's just this unauthentic relationship just to say I have this relationship, or to be a good daughter, or to be a good niece. And I'm not willing to do that anymore. I don't mind all the labels you give me, as long as I feel like it's good for my mental health and my soul. Sorry. Then life is too short to pretend anymore. Okay, so things to combat all of that family obligation that you might be feeling. First thing, you might be feeling like you're a bad daughter. I'm being a bad daughter. I'm being a bad niece. I'm being a bad nephew. I'm being a bad son. Da, 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 da. That's how they gaslight you. That's how they manipulate you to stay with them even though they're being toxic. They're the ones who are hurting you and they're being toxic. So I realized that I'm a great friend. I've always been a great friend. I'm a great wife. I was not a great girlfriend. I'll tell you that. I am a great mom. Like, I'm a decent worker. I try my best. If I'm all those things, why am I a bad daughter? Right? And I realized it's because I have bad parents. It's not because I'm a bad daughter. It's because I had bad parents, thus I have to be a bad daughter. Because there's no other way. I can be a good daughter and then be bad to myself because I have bad parents, right? You either take abuse and be the good daughter, or you don't take abuse and be the bad daughter, but you're not taking abuse. I can only be a good daughter if my parents are good to me. It's a two-way relationship. So don't ever think you're being a bad daughter. They are being bad parents. But no one ever says that. So I'm telling you to tell them, or anyone that makes you ever feel bad. Like if your aunts or your uncles ever make you feel bad for being a bad daughter, a bad son, da 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 da, then you could be like, no, they are bad parents. I'm not being bad. I am not taking their abuse anymore. That's it. And maybe you should just embrace being a bad daughter, because that means you're embracing being a good to you. You are being good to you. Next thing, you're doing what's best for your family and your mental health. That's how I would think of it. I cannot stress this enough. Like, you should not have to feel guilty for leaving, breaking up your parents, never seeing them, being estranged. You're not trying to attack them anymore because they attacked you first. You're just trying to disengage, and that's neutral. That is not bad. That's not wrong. That's neutral. You're not trying to attack them. They're attacking you and you're disengaging. That is fucking neutral. That is very helpful. Instead of being like, oh, I have to be a good daughter, swallow it all, and in the end, give them some toxicity back. Because I've seen it. I've been a bad daughter. When I talk to my mom, I'm the bitchiest person. And she used to think I was bitchy to other people too. She was like, man, I don't know how Ben takes it. I don't know how anyone is your friend, da da da. And I realized she thinks I'm mean to other people. But that's crazy because I'm only mean to her, and I realized I'm only mean to her because I still decided that I have to talk to her, even though she's being abusive to me. So then I swallow it and then I give her back toxicity because it's a circle. The circle of toxicity is a thing. And I decided that the best thing I do for her and for me is to disengage because she's not gonna change. I'm just really ugly when I'm with her, and I don't want to be ugly anymore. Like, is that even worth being a good daughter because I'm being ugly? I hope this was beneficial. I hope this helped you feel like someone else saw you, or if you're an elder, I hope this helps you see your children. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.